Well, thank you. Well, let me bring it back to the children then. And Dr. Seisler really brought up the observations of what's happened in the last 50 years to our school start time. And it's such an obvious example and potential point to really address. For children to be waking up 5 or 6 in the morning, when many of them, actually because of circadian rhythm shifts as they go into puberty and so forth, that they may be optimally functioning much later in the morning. So not only is an early school start time shortening their sleep period and putting them at risk for sleep deprivation, but it's forcing them to shift the time when they're asleep versus awake compared to what their normal biological rhythms should have them do. So we have especially children going through puberty, adolescents who are forced to be in first period class at a time that they should be in REM sleep at home in their bed, and they're not learning, and they're making themselves at risk for behavioral problems and mood disorders. Now, several areas around the country have begun to push for later school start times. There's an area in Michigan, in Rhode Island, and although that data collection is still fairly preliminary, there is evidence that school absenteeism goes down when you push the school start later. There's also evidence that mood problems in the children actually lessen. And there is some evidence that maybe academic performance also improves, although those data are still being collected. But again, we get to the pragmatic pushback. Why don't we do this? Well, the buses are scheduled to pick up the children. There are split shifts in schools. Parents want to drop their kids off early to get to their own work. So there's these societal economic pressures that if you really thought about the health, the well-being of your child, you would think as a society we could push to a physiologic start time so our children get that opportunity to sleep at night. And they're also in class when their body is primed to be alert and ready to learn.